till last week?
We covered about the soul, Prabhu.
Soul, and it is about like a how to attain the supreme, correct? So how
Hmm.
we can attain the supreme. So the first six chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is predominantly talking about the karma yoga section of it, and the next six chapter talking about bhakti yoga. So in that, how we can attain the supreme, that is what we are seeing it in the 8th chapter. 7th chapter we saw the knowledge of the absolute. First we need to understand how great Krishna is, and we need to start developing the love towards him. Okay, so first we are understanding in the 7th chapter the whole of like a Krishna's uh, absolute, like the opulence, how great he is, and how where and all he is present, like he is present in the water, air, ether, etc., etc., everywhere, like he is present. And from there, how we can attain Krishna, because in the 7th chapter 29th and the 30th sloka, if you see, Krishna is giving some 5 new terms, correct? Adi Yajnam, Adi Daivam, Adi Bhutam, okay, then soul, Brahman, all those things. So that is what he is uh, he's asking the details in this particular 8th sloka, 8th chapter. So in the 8th chapter, it is starting with Arjuna asking 8 questions, which is what is Brahman, who is Adhyatma, who is Adi Bhutam, okay, who is Adi Daiva, and what is Karma, and who is Adi Yajna, and how at the time of death we can remember Krishna. So this is what Arjuna is asking. Then Krishna is answering in the upcoming slokas, like, okay, because this 8th chapter is called as attaining the supreme. So how we can attain the supreme? For that we need to understand who is the supreme. Then we need to dedicate our time towards that supreme. Then only we can reach the supreme. Okay, so that is what we are going to see. So the main this 8 questions like have been answered by Krishna in a couple of sloka. Then from 8.8 onwards, like, okay, he's informing the whole of how to remember Krishna during the time of death. Okay, that is what he's going to talk. So in that first question, like, what is Brahman? So Brahman is nothing but the indestructible living entity, soul. Okay, then Adhyatma is the living entity's nature, like it's the swabhava of that soul. Then karma is the reaction or action, or a reaction to an action which we have done, okay, while we are in the material body in this material world. Okay, then Adi Bhuta is ever changing material nature. This Adi Bhuta is like the material nature, modes of material nature. Then who he who presides over all the demigods, like, so Adi Bhuta is Adi Daiva is like a not only demigod, it is demigod and represented in the universal form of the Lord. Then Adi Yajna, like a lot of sacrifices Krishna, and how one can engage themselves in the Krishna consciousness activity, like at the time of death. Prayana Kale. Prayana Kale is nothing but like at the time of death. That is what we have seen. Anta Kale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayadi samadbhavam yadinasi atra samisaya. So there is a very nice analogy or understanding. Okay, you are a student. The whole year, the teacher is teaching the subject, and but you are not studying at all. But at the time of exam, how is it possible for you to attend that exam and appear that exam and come out with flying colors? It is impossible, correct? Because you have not studied the whole year. it is impossible for you to appear for the exam as well as clear that exam with flying colors. Like it would be very, very difficult. The similar manner, while we are having a very healthy body, if we are not practicing Krishna consciousness during the time of prayana kale, during the time of leaving the body, it would be very, very difficult to remember Krishna. We have already seen how much time, like during the time of at the time of death, there would be like, okay, we will get a pain of around 60,000 scorpion biting our body. So it would be impossible for us to remember Krishna if we have not practiced Krishna consciousness while we are having a good body, we are having healthy body. So that is the reason, like, hey, even Prahlad Maharaj also says, Kaumaram Acharam, like, hey, so we have to start the devotional service when we are when we are in the womb of the mother. So that is the right time to start the Krishna consciousness. Very early stage, if you are able to practice Krishna consciousness, then at the time of Prayana Kale, it would be easy to remember Krishna. It would not be very difficult to remember Krishna. So this is what we have seen. That is very important thing to remember. So how to remember Krishna while we are living, so that while we leave, we can remember Krishna easily. Hare Krishna. Any thoughts or any points related to this? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, you are right that we should start bhakti at the early age of our life, because at that time when we are very, very young, means we are child, at that time our heart is not that much contaminated. So it will be easy for us to start devotional service.
Yeah, correct, bro. Exactly. So it would be easy to remember Krishna during that time. So we have to start at a very early age. There is no doubt in that particular thing. Okay, so this is again the representation. What is Brahman? Brahman is nothing but like a Brahma, which is the individual soul, which is represented in our body. What is the self? Like a Adhyatma. And what are the fruitive activities? Karma, the action or reaction to that. And what is the material manifestation? Adi Bhutam. What are the demigods like Adi Daivam? And a lot of sacrifices, Krishna, Adi Yajna, represented with all the sorry, Adi Daivam is like a demigod in the universal form as well. Then Lord of Sacrifice Adi Yajna, how does he live in the body? Khatam so Degesh mean like a so he live in the body, and how to remember Krishna Prayana Kale. So Prayana Kale, like how to remember Krishna, so that we have to understand. So these are the questions which yeah, so this is what we have seen, like a King Kulagashekar Alvar is praying to the Lord. Krishna Tvadiya Pangaja Pancharantam Advaivame Vishatu Manasa Rajahamsa Prana Prayana Samaye Kapavada Pittaihi Kantovarudve Vido Smaranam Kutaste. So while I am leaving the body, it would be very difficult to remember Krishna, because at the time my it would be throat would be like it choked up with mucus and bile and air. How to remember Krishna? So now I am able to remember Krishna. Please take my life, like okay, make me to reach the death. Okay, that is how the great saints like realized how important to remember Krishna, so that we can attain the supreme. Okay, that is the whole purpose of it. Whatever we are doing, we have to know the real goal of it, the real purpose of it. Hare Krishna. So this we have seen already. Brahman is nothing but the living entity. Lord, living entity and the Lord both are Brahman, but qualitatively we are different. Qualitatively we are same. Quantitatively we are different. Correct? Same in quality, but Lord is Para Brahman. So we are just a normal Brahman, but Lord is Para Brahman. Para Brahman is he knows everything about every living entity. But us as a living entity, the soul, we don't know what is happening even in this lifetime. So we don't know our past, we don't know what is our current situation, we don't know what is our future. But Lord is a Parabrahman. He knows everything of every living entity. The difference between material consciousness and spiritual consciousness is material consciousness trying to lord over material nature. Okay, I am the master. I own this one. I am the owner of everything. But the spiritual consciousness is to serve the supreme, and I am always the eternal servant of the Lord. Okay, that is the difference. Then why living entity is called the marginal energy? Because living entity, sometime when they identify with the matter, then they are becoming like, okay, the lower, when they connect to the body, they are associated with the material world. When they are connected with the soul, they are associated with the spiritual world. So that is the reason a living entity is always called as marginal energy, because they are like a cat on a wall. The cat can fall this side of the wall, the material world, or the other side of the wall, which is the spiritual world. The similar manner, that is the reason we been called as like the marginal energy. Then result of living entity identifying with the matter, then they have to take this punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, like okay, 84 lakh species rotation again and again, like we have to be in this material world. So what is the Krishna consciousness point of view? Avoid such sacrifices, take direct connection with Krishna, and do the devotion service so that we can go back to the Lord, like we can attain the Supreme. So impersonalism also, like it is refuting, because Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like so, he is a person. He is not imperson. Okay. Then this is how a child been born, like a man and woman uniting, like and the child is born, but how it is coming from the faith is. So what are the sacrifices? Like a 5 kind of offering is faith, enjoyer of the moon, rain, grain, and semen. So the faith help us to reach the heavenly planet. From the heavenly planet, like we are getting the moon. Via the moon, like the cloud is getting formed. Via the cloud, the rain is getting formed. Like via rain, the in the earth, the it is flourishing, and the grain is coming. The grain being accepted by the men, and men and women like unites, and the child is born. This is the routine of the cycle, and with that the whole progeny is like a flourishing according to the Vedic process of sacrifice. So once the grain been obtained, the living entity should offer to Lord, okay, the rain came from you, the land belongs to you, and the grain belongs to you. So please, like, help us to flourish. So uh, that is the mood of Krishna consciousness, and that is a mood of eternal servant. Like they never think that okay, this is my land, I did the cultivation, and I got the grain. No, because if the rain is not there, you can never get the cultivation. If there is no proper land, you will not be able to do the proper cultivation. So everything belongs to Lord. So that mood we have to get into. That is very, very important. Many a times we will forget those mood. Okay, we have to get into the mood of how we can remember Krishna in each and every moment of our life. That is what like this Bhakti Yoga teaches us. So first we need to understand the seventh chapter. The whole chapter is talking about knowledge of the absolute. Like we need to understand what are the qualities of Krishna. It is impossible for us to understand Krishna in full, but at least the necessity or the important aspects of Krishna, let us understand. Okay, he is the sun and moon. He is present in the water, air, ether, land, everywhere, like a rain, everywhere he is present. So understand where and all he is present, and we have to start developing the bhakti towards him, love towards him, so that then we will be able to remember Krishna at the time of death. Anta kalecha mameva smaran mukto kalevaram. So we have seen in the nice analogy of the student who is not studying the whole year, how difficult it would be for him to appear the exam. The similar manner, while we live in a healthy manner in our body, we have to remember Krishna. If we are not remembering, then at the time of death, it would be very, very difficult for us to remember Krishna. This has to be remembered, remind all the time in our life. Then it is easy to remember Krishna. So this we have seen already. The 8 questions been answered by Krishna, and the 8th question, yeah, this is the one like we have seen. The 5th question, remembering Krishna at the time of death will attain a supreme. So Krishna consciousness mean purest of the pure, because devotee always remember Krishna who is purest of the pure. For whom remembrance is not possible? For the impure soul. Impure soul means like they are getting, they are forgetting they are the soul, and they are thinking, okay, I am the body, and how I'll be able to remember Krishna. Like it is not possible for them to remember Krishna, but they can purify their self by practicing the remembrance. Okay, one cannot remember Krishna at the end of his life very easily if he didn't practice during the time of his living in a healthy manner in the body, in the material world. So how to practice remembrance? First, purity, like live in the mode of goodness. So not in the mode of ignorance or passion. We have to live in the mode of goodness. Then service, we have to always remember that, okay, I am the eternal servant, I am not the master, I own nothing, I own only Krishna, I own only Krishna bhakti. So let me be dependent on Krishna, let me do the service to him all the time. We all do the service one or the other way, correct? In office we are serving our boss, our company, our subordinates. Okay, in home we are serving like the parents, we are serving the wife, we are serving the kids. Okay, so all these things are temporary, but if we are being the servant of Krishna, then that eternal service only will be remembered and it will be beneficial. Okay, so we have to remember that in the service mood, we have to do everything. Whatever we do, yat karoshi, yat dasnasi, yat joshi, dadasyat, yat tapasyasi kauntaya, tat kurushva mad arpanam. Krishna saying, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, everything do on the remembrance of me. This sloka, when he is saying, after he says the patram pushpam. Okay, first he is saying patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayashyati tadaham bhakti upagradam asnami prayatatmanaga. If you offer a leaf or a fruit or a water or the patram, like okay, leaf, fruit, water, yeah, leaf, fruit, water, and flower. Offer either one of it. Okay, then you do the bhakti. I am very pleased with that bhakti. If you are unable to offer all these things, at least then he's saying yat karoshi. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever sacrifice you do, please do it in the name of me. Then it is like a madarpanam. You dedicate to me, then it becomes purified. That is what it has been said here, like a life dedicated in the service of Krishna, and thus always thinking of Krishna and do the service. Then it becomes Krishna consciousness. So we have to eat. For that we have to cook. Rather than cooking for ourselves, if we are cooking for the Lord and eating as a prashadam after offering to Lord, then all the sins will be eradicated, and we are doing nothing but bhakti. So whatever we do, we are going to purchase the vegetable, but to the market like to buy the vegetable. Rather than for us, if we are doing it for Krishna, then it becomes bhakti. So likewise, any activity, whatever we do, we can include Krishna, then that becomes bhakti. Okay. Then the tolerate all the impediments like a tree. So the devotional service is easy to perform, but we will get so many issues, so many problems, so many impediments. We have to tolerate everything. Then only we will become a great bhakta and the qualified bhakta like to perform bhakti. Did we are we like okay facing great impediments like Prahlad faced or Dhruva Maharaj faced or great devotees like he faced in the past? Never. Because Prahlad Maharaj, his father is trying to kill him. How difficult it is to survive, but he had the unflinching faith. The father is putting him into the room of snakes, okay. But Prahlad Maharaj, not even a second or millisecond, he was having any doubt as like a Vishnu will not save him. He knows that okay, Lord will save him. No worries. He was saying Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dhruva Maharaj, how very what to say like okay, very stringent practices he was performing like to see Lord face to face. He was not eating. He was just going to the forest. The forest was like full of animals, but still he was determined to see Lord face to face. The similar manner, Prahlad Maharaj also was very determined in doing bhakti, and in spite of like all his surroundings were against him, including his father, but he was not deviated. He was not even like okay shaked in the bhakti. He was very determined to perform bhakti. So the similar manner we have to determine in performing bhakti. Then constant and incessant chanting of the holy name of the Lord, because we are in this Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, we have to do the chanting, then only we can attain the Lord. There is no way we can escape from this particular thing. Okay. So these are the small tips like to remember Krishna. So we have to perform this particular thing without any deviation. Any questions till now? Any realization? So this is very important. Whatever we do, like we have to analyze it. Okay, am I doing correct, or how I can do it in a better manner? This topics has to change our mind, our life, our way to love Krishna in a different manner. So antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayadi samadbhavam yadinasi atra samseha. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body remembering me alone, okay, that is a key thing. Remembering me alone, Krishna alone, at once attain my nature. Of this, there is no doubt. He's saying, first, he's saying, like, you will attain for sure. Second, he's saying, like, in this, there is no doubt. Don't have any doubt. Because sometimes we will think, okay, oh, is it that easy? Just if we remember Krishna, we will go back to Godhead. We don't need to do like we don't need to give $5 billion to board the Krishna's plane to reach his abode, or we have to struggle like that much to get into the plane of like a Krishna. It is just remember Krishna while we are alive, so that Krishna will remember, or Krishna will give the understanding to remember at the time of death. So that is what to be understood, and it is available so easily. But something which is available very easily, we are often uh, very great in like ignoring those things, correct? So that is what we should not do. We should be very consciousness of remembering Krishna and perform bhakti. Okay. Any thoughts?
Prabhuji, I have one doubt. In the
Yes,
previous
Maji.
slide that you have shown, you said that that faith to heavenly bodies. What is that? I didn't understand it.
Okay, Maji, 1 second. That is related to the sacrifice. Okay. See, we have
Yeah,
seen in
this
the
one.
fifth chapter, fourth and fifth chapter, the sacrifices mentioned for each and every uh, section of the, whether it has been the grahastha or vanaprastha or sannyasi, brahmachari, all those varnashrama dharma, what is the sacrifice? So that is what we are seeing, actions that results in a material human body. How we are getting into the material body, okay, and how to understand the sacrifice which we do will get us back to the spiritual world. So the sacrifice, the yajna, is not only like a doing the fire sacrifice. We are doing the chanting, correct? The chanting also is a sacrifice. The grahastha will do the chanting of the holy name and they can go back to the Godhead. Okay. So from Lord, how the material universe has been formed, that is what been mentioned here. So 5 kinds of offering. Via faith, we have to offer and do the bhakti so that sacrificial altar would be like a heavenly planet. We will go to the heavenly planet. From the heavenly planet, we will get the moon, the enjoyer of the moon, like, okay, who is nothing but, once you are able to do the proper faith and the proper bhakti, you will get the rain. That rain is coming from moon and cloud, correct? That rain helps earth to get more grains. That grain is helping the men and women to be alive in this material world. Remember, like, if there is no grain, then we will not be able to survive, correct? So that grain is helping us to be alive. But we should not think that, okay, that grain we got it with our own effort. No. If there is no cloud or no moon or no rain, then this grain is impossible. Though they are doing it in an artificial manner, but it is not going to be sustainable. It is not healthy. So the proper grain which is coming from the rain and the moon and the cloud, that is the proper way of like getting the grain, and that grain will help us to keep alive in this material body, in this material world. So then from men, the semen comes like a, via the semen, the woman gets like a pregnancy, and via that, like the child is born. This is a routine thing, but only where we will get the bhakti if the man and woman and the child remembers that, okay, I am the eternal servant of the Lord, I own nothing, everything comes from the Lord, then it is easy to perform bhakti. Otherwise, we will go into this cycle. But it's clear, Mataji, that this sacrificial thing continues forever. If we remember Krishna, it is possible to go back to the God. If he doesn't remember Krishna, okay, then we will be getting into this material world forever. Clear, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's move to the next sloka. Yeah. So previous look at what he says. Krishna says, okay, anta kalecha mameva. So at the time of death, whatever you are remembering, okay, if you are remembering me alone, you will be able to attain me. Of this, there is no doubt. Then the next sloka he is saying, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. So whatever state we are going to attain, okay, at the time of death, if I remember, okay, money, then I may become like the money or somewhere like in a useless character, like I will be born. If I remember by thinking about okay the jewels, or I will be like the safeguarding the jewelry shop. So likewise, like that remembrance will help us to connect with that particular thing, whatever we are remembering at the time of death. So for this, there is a very nice. I don't know how many of you like know the Bharat Maharaj story. Everyone knows.
Yes, Prabhu. He thinks he actually has a pet deer, and at the time of death, though he's a great devotee, he actually gets worried about the deer, and so the next birth he takes birth as a deer. But
Yeah,
because of the devotion that he has showed in the previous birth, he goes to an ashram where there is continuously Lord's name is chanted and everything, and the deer actually goes to that ashram. I mean, takes birth in that ashram, something like that.
yeah, correct, exactly, Mataji. Like I just want to. I prepared one slide for it. Voice of Bharat Maharaj. A very nice thing to understand from his life, because he spent all his life to do bhakti, and he wants to do bhakti like he quits all those things and goes to perform the bhakti, but he got attracted to a deer at the time of, yeah. Which chapter I have? Bharata Maharaj story. Fifth canto. No, fifth canto.
You have taken for this Ramadan also.
Ramadan class only. But I'm just taking little time to.
Bhagavan slokas to Sada. It will be
A 5, 8, 9. Class qualities. Nice slides were there. To get it. Bharat. 4, 5, 2020 SP slokas only. Then yeah, no, 4/5/20. Yeah, this one. So if you see Bharat Maharaj, he was very experienced, learned, affectionate. Okay. He performed sacrifices. He enjoyed material opulence for 1,000 into 10,000 years. It is impossible for us to remember. It is not easy. He ruled the kingdom for how many years? 1,000 into 10,000 years. Okay. There is no mistake there. It is 1,000 into 10,000 years. He was ruling in a very perfect manner. On his name only, like it has been called as Bharata Varsha, correct? Like the Bharata Varsha, our whole the India and the surrounding of places been called as Bharata Varsha. And the retirement and experience, like after he was ruling that, then he wanted to do the devotion service in a very proper manner. So he went into the Pulaka Ashrama, and where like a Gandaki river was there, then there only like the Salagrama Sila was there. Okay, there he went to perform the devotion service. He was performing in a very proper manner. Okay, he was excessively bodily symptoms were like being felt. Tears were flowing from his eyes, like the meditator on reddish lotus feet of the Lord. So he was almost performing the bhakti in a very proper manner after leaving his kingdom. He could able to do it in a very proper manner, but then he went one day to the riverside to take some water and to take bath. So at the time he was seeing a deer, the pregnant deer was about to deliver a baby. So at the time the tiger was trying to attack. Then he was showing the compassionate on a bodily platform on that deer. He just went and immediately the tiger ran away. Then this pregnant lady, sorry, pregnant deer, dropped the baby in that particular location, and the pregnant deer also the mother deer also went away by fearing that only the child deer was there. Then Bharata feeling was he got little attracted to that particular deer. Oh, that deer doesn't have anyone to take care, so let me take care of that deer. After that, the mistakes made by Bharata Maharaj was he was getting so much compassionate on that deer. Okay, while he was doing the sacrifice, the deer was coming and disturbing him, and he was deviated from doing the sacrifice. And he got so much affection, attraction towards the deer. This is for whom? Who was ruling the kingdom for 10,000 into 1,000 years, and he was having all the opulences. All the opulences he relinquished only to get into the mood of a performing bhakti. He given all those things to his sons, and he came to forest only to perform bhakti. But during that time, he is getting attraction towards that baby deer. Okay, so increased affection, he was lay down, walked with deer, bathed and ate with deer, full affection, attachment to be transferred to Lord service. Rupa Goswami prayed to Lord. Unlike we should not have any bodily compassion. Recently, we are seeing which other example who was having bodily affection and he was refusing to do something. Who is that?
Oh, Arjun.
Yes, very good, Prabhu. Yeah. So Arjuna was having the bodily affection towards his family members and friends, and he was refusing to fight, correct, to Krishna. Then Krishna has to teach the entire Bhagavad Gita about the Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Then he is able to understand. So the bodily platform affection we should never have like even with our family members or friends and family members also, we should never have the family affection, but that family affection only keeping us into this material world all the time.
Then how come like we are in Grihastha Ashram, na? So
Grihastha Ashram also. Yeah. So now I will have a fight with my wife. So what I'm saying is, we should have that is the path of realization, correct? So if you are having a bodily attachment, bodily affection, then we will never go back to the spiritual world. We should have the affection. Okay, my kids or my wife or my parents are nothing but the associates of the Lord. Okay, they are the part and parcel of Krishna. In them, Krishna is present as a super soul, as a which Vishnu?
Kshirodakashaya Vishnu.
Very good, Maji. Shirodagashai Vishnu. Okay. So we have to respect everyone. We have to treat everyone equally. We have to, we should not have any enmity or hatredness like with anyone. And we should not associate with the bodily platform. Okay. They are the associates of Krishna. I given the opportunity to uh, take care of them. It is Krishna's duty. Okay, sorry, Krishna given me this duty, and I need to fulfill that. I need to take care of them. Okay, in that manner, it becomes Krishna consciousness. We are not having any bodily platform. But here, he quit everything to perform bhakti. But here, because of one baby deer, is getting attracted towards a bodily platform, and he is getting deviated from performing bhakti. Okay, so then one day like that deer was running away, and Bharata Maharaj was like lamenting where that deer was went. He was searching the whole forest. Okay, rather than doing the bhakti, he was searching the whole forest, and he was just seeing the moon, and he was just at the time of leaving his body, he was thinking about that deer only, nothing else. So in the next birth, he was born as the deer. Okay, that is what this particular sloka remind us. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. So that is what Bharata Maharaj was remembering the deer and attain the deer form in the next life. But since he performed bhakti, a lot of bhakti, even though he got a deer form, he was able to remember his past life. Oh my goodness, how bad, how worst I was. Why I got attached to the deer? I was remembering the deer. Okay, now I need to perform bhakti. Then he came to that Pulaka Ashrama and he was doing the bhakti there. It was very difficult to perform bhakti in an animal form when we are having animal body. But because Bharata Maharaj performed a lot of good sacrificial, a lot of bhakti while he was alive, he was able to remember or perform bhakti while he was in a deer form. Then he went to the Pulahashrama like and the Kantaki river. He was performing bhakti so that he want to get a human body in his next life. Then in the next life, he got a human body and he came as a Jada but this time he was not even giving any importance to the material body. He was always thinking about the Lord, how I can go back to the Lord. Okay, he was considered as a Jada and he see that also while taking this sloka also I was we were remembering this sloka, correct, to immediately rectify his mistake. For a short time he was awarded the body of a deer, but he was able to remember the past incidents. MM Vapi Smaran Bhavam, the 8.6. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain. Okay, without fail. And in the 9.31 also, Lord says, Shipram Bhavadi Dharmatma, Shashvat Shantim Nigachadi, Kaunteya Pratijani, Name Bhaktya Pranashadi. So whatever bhakti we do, it will never get wasted. Okay. Another sloka, Neha Bikramana Sosti, Pratyavayo na Vidyade, Swalpam Apiyasya Dharmasya, Trayate Mahato Bayat. So whatever things we do in bhakti, it will never get diminished. Like, okay, all the time it will be available for us. Okay, so my devotee never perishes. So that is how we can learn the things like from this Bharata Maharaj, then deer form, then he got into the Jada Bharata state. In the Jada Bharata, he was performing bhakti, not giving that much attention to the body. Then he was meeting King Raghugana. Then Raghugana, he was giving the knowledge to Raghugana, King Raghugana, while they were carrying him like in the pallak. He was moving here and there. Then Raghugana is asking why you are shaking the palanquin like too much. Then he was saying, no, I don't want to kill the ants, because ants and a lot of insects were in the down. It was, I don't want to kill them. Then he was saying like, hey, why you are giving so much importance to the ants? Then he was saying, okay, no, everyone is a soul, we are not the body. He was teaching the supreme the message, supreme message of we are not the body but we are the soul, to King Raghugana. Raghugana was so much impressed. Then Jadabharata is able to remember, perform bhakti, and able to go back to the Godhead. So this is what we have to understand. Whatever state we are being, while we remember quit the body, so that state we will attain. Okay, so this eighth sloka, lot of slokas has to be, eighth chapter, lot of slokas has to be remembered, and we have to by heart this sloka. This is one of the most favorite sloka, one of the very great sloka, because we have to remember Krishna all the time. That is what this sloka reminds. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha mai arpita mano buddhir mamevai shasi asamsayaka. Here, see, very important. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna. That is very, 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 very important. You should always think of me in the form of Krishna, not in the form of like, okay, Vishnu or any other avatar. Okay, that avatar is okay, but while you are remembering in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting with your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. How many times Krishna is saying without doubt? Antakale chamameva, he is saying you will attain me without doubt. Here also he is saying you will attain me without doubt. So it is easy process, but we have to remember ourselves, remind ourselves to remember Krishna while we are alive, so that while we leave the body, it is easy to remember Krishna. Okay. So very, very important chapter, very, very important slokas. These are the crux of like a Bhagavad Gita slokas. Please go through again and again. These slokas will help us to remember Krishna while we are alive, so that we will be able to remember Krishna while we leave the body.
Prabhuji, this is also similar to that Mai Sarvani Karmani Sanyasa Atyatmata Chetasa Nirasha Nirmamo Bhuto. This
Correct,
is
Mataji.
pretty much similar to that, right?
Yes. Yeah, correct. Nice correlation. Yeah, correct. There, his importance is like a to fight. Okay, to my sarvani karmani sanyas adhyatma chesasga nirasya nirmamo bhutva yudhayasa vigata chara.
Vidyatsa Vikatacharaha. That
Yeah,
is like to do the prescribed duty with
yeah, correct.
with the focus on Krishna. Here
Correct.
it
Yeah,
is
it is to remember Krishna while we
you're
do
performing the
any
duty.
activity. Yeah,
Okay, nice.
nice correlation. Yeah. So general law of time at the time of death, whatever see here also, like it is a Bharata Maharaj example only been given, because that pastime been performed by the Lord, so that we we know, okay, it happened in the past, it will happen, it is happening in the present also, it will happen in the future also. We need to train our mind, okay, to remember Krishna all the time. Whenever we see sun and moon, whenever we drink water, okay, it is nothing but Krishna's energy. So let us remember Krishna. Practice remembrance during one's life, not at the time of death, okay. How the student prepares during the whole 1 year, correct, during the classes, not at the time of examination. It would be impossible for us to appear for the exam and to clear that exam. The similar manner, if you are not utilizing the time now to remember Krishna, then we will never be able to remember Krishna during the time of death. This is hard given truth.
Confirmation remember the last remember.
Yeah, that if you are okay, she's asking if there is no confirmation that if we are remembering Krishna now, we will not be able to remember, or how confirmed, okay, it would be for us to remember Krishna during the time of death, okay. So that is what a Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma, Lord says, na, my devotee never perishes. And a Neha Bikraman Asasti, where there is no diminution for the bhakti, correct? Even if we are unable to remember Krishna during our time of death, if we certainly practice us Krishna Bhakti during our living in this body, in this material world, then Krishna will make us to remember that Buddhi is coming from Krishna, correct? Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. So that Buddhi is coming from Krishna. Even if we forget to remember Krishna, but Krishna will remember us, Krishna will make us remember him during the time of death. Okay, there is of this, that is the reason Krishna is saying, of this there is no doubt. So we shouldn't have any doubt. We need to remember Krishna all the time. Then we will be able to remember Krishna during the time of death. Very hard hitting truth, but reality. So we have to practice this in our daily day-to-day life. Hare Krishna. Any question, any realization? We will see this revision again in the next class, because these three slokas are very crux of the sloka. Okay. Antakale chamameva yam vapi smaran bhavam. Then which sloka? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhya mai arpita manobuddhir mamevai shasi asamsayaka. This is a sloka, every day it has to remind us. Tasmat, therefore, Arjuna, please remember me on as a Krishna in all your lifetime, so that you will be able to come to me. There is no doubt. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara. Anusmara means like, okay, it is remembering. Go on remembering. It is not remember once and forget all the time. No, it is go on remembering. It is satatam. It is nirantaram. It is all the time we have to remember Krishna. Not, okay, whenever I am free, whenever I want to remember Krishna, I will remember. All other times I will do lot of nonsense things. No. Go on remembering. Tasmat, all the time, like a Tasmat Sarveshu. Therefore, remember Krishna all the time, so that we will be go back to the Lord and we will be able to remember Krishna at the time of death. Hare Krishna. I stop here. Any question, any realization, please feel free to share. And this very important topic, I request everyone's attention and everyone's please like a revise at home and read these topics again and again, so that it will be registered in our mind and it will never get wasted, it will never go away even after we die in this material world, after we depart from this material world. Because the bhakti, whatever we do, the devotion service, whatever we do, we carry along with our soul. That is the only thing which we will carry along with our soul. Okay, that will be deposited in the devotional bank account forever, and we don't need to worry about that. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So if no further questions, like we are good to close. Thanks for joining and have a wonderful weekend and week ahead. Happy Navratri to all of you and happy Vijayadashmi also. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thanks, Prabhu.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu.